The Mare belongs to one of Europe's oldest supernatural traditions. Stories about the Mare are found across the Netherlands, Germany, Scandinavia and even in England, with written reference dating back to at least the Middle Ages. But every region tells the story differently, but one aspect remains remarkably consistent. The Mare would visit people while they were sleeping. Across the lowlands, these stories survived for centuries, long before science could offer an actual explanation to this mystery. The name has survived far longer than the creature itself. In Dutch, we still use the word nachtmerrie. In English, it became nightmare, but originally, these words did not refer to a bad dream. The Mare was believed to be a supernatural being. The name is believed to descend from the Proto-Germanic word maron, meaning a spirit that would torment people in their sleep. Other sources say the word mare means a goblin or incubus, but the most common theory is that it's based on the Norse word mara. Today, millions of people use the word nightmare without realizing they're repeating an ancient piece of folklore referring to the mare, who would cause you to have very bad dreams. According to the folklore, the mare arrived after nightfall. Unlike a lot of creatures, it would not chase people. It came into their homes, into their bedrooms. People believed the mare would sit on the sleeper's chest, making it very hard to move or even breathe. Many described waking suddenly, fully aware of their surroundings, yet being unable to call for help. Some saw a dark figure standing beside the bed. Others described an old woman, even a shadow, or simply the overwhelming certainty that someone was watching you and you were no longer alone. Centuries before sleep paralysis had a medical name, people across the lowlands already had explanation. And that's what makes it so fascinating to me, that people will always try to look for a reason, but this is centuries before we found an actual reason for the feeling we're describing. The name mare does not refer to a horse, but the mare is often described riding a horse in the stories. Another common story is that she would entangle your hair while you're sleeping. And like many folklore traditions, belief was often accompanied by ritual. Different stories developed different ways of keeping the mare out. And the design of the spirit would also change depending on a region. But for now, we're focusing on the Germanic version. People hung protective symbols above their beds, some placed iron objects around the sleeping room, others recited prayers before sleeping. Certain households even believed shoes should never be left pointing towards the bed. But the rituals varied. There were a lot. But the purpose was always the same: keep the mare out at night. But there's also some less ideal rituals, like drinking a cup of coffee before you're going to bed. Some stories even talk about smearing your feces on your front door to keep the visitor out at night. Today, many of these experiences are understood as a sleep paralysis, a state in which the mind wakes before the body, often accompanied by vivid hallucinations and a powerful sense that someone is watching you. What makes the mare so remarkable is not that people experience these sensations. It is the communities across Europe describing almost exactly the same visitor, centuries before we even could understand the concept of a sleep paralysis. Unlike many creatures from folklore, the mare never really completely disappeared. Its name survived, not in stories, but in language itself. Every time someone speaks of a nightmare, they unknowingly repeat the same name of an ancient spirit that once haunted the many parts of our continent, although in a lot of different forms. And while the explanation has changed over time, the experience itself remains surprisingly familiar to this day.